Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, let's talk about some small, tiny things that avoidants notice when they really like you, when they love you, when they appreciate you, when they're getting attached to you. And a lot of times, avoidants become very observant of you, very observant, but it can be a little bit challenging because you guys might think it's a bad thing. And so that's why I'm going to talk about it to kind of clarify that misconception. So some people think it's like fault finding, but it's not. And I'll make a video on fault finding. I have one on my other channel, a little bit older, but still. A lot of people think that they're trying to like nitpick at you, right? But that's not actually what's happening. They're observing it and they kind of point it out sometimes in a little bit of an awkward way. But it's only because they're like watching you, they find you attractive, they like you. And a lot of people can find this a little bit off-putting. But if you knew that it's because they like you and care about you, then maybe you'll find it a little bit more appreciative, like you'll appreciate it more. And so that's the goal of today's video. So the very first one is actually a really particular example, but this is brought up in session a lot, so I thought I'd share it. If you're eating food and you don't like your food, they immediately know that you don't like it and they notice it even when you aren't saying anything. And they might even ask you, like, what, is there something wrong with your food? Do you not like your food? Do you want some of my food? What's going on, right? Or you're not eating your food. Is there something going on? Is it something I did, or is it that you don't like your food? They already can kind of tell it's that you don't like your food, but they might not directly say it, even though some literally might. They might say, you don't like your food, do you? Do you want mine? Do you want to swap? Why didn't you tell me, right? They might take it like that. Some of them do. But I think it's very important to know that it doesn't mean they're trying to make fun of you. A lot of people, especially if you're anxiously attached, you might think that they're trying to put you in a corner or make fun of you for whatever reason. And maybe you think that, oh my God, they're implying something about my body or my eating habits, right? Some anxious preoccupied might do that. And then fearful avoidance, what you guys do is you feel like, oh, are they mad at me? Let me lie. Or let me kind of like make it a little bit smoother. No, it's not that I don't like my food. Maybe it's not my favorite, but I still like it, right? And so you kind of try and make them less mad when they're not mad at all. Like, it's not negative. It just comes across like really blunt and sometimes kind of awkward. And that would be dismissive avoidant or fearful leaning dismissive. A lot of them are blunt. Some of you guys are fearful leaning dismissive. And so you guys can be a little bit blunt. You know that. Not many of you guys are dismissive avoidant, but I used to be, so I can help you with that one. Plus, most of my patients are actually dismissive avoidant. But either one. The next one is scars or cuts on your body. This one is very strange because I feel like this is a little bit more common with avoidant men, both fearful and dismissive. But I guess it depends. If even like a discoloration on, let's say you scraped your knee and there's like a little bit of a red mark, they might ask you about it. Or they might say, hey, where did that come from? And it's like, it takes you back. You're like, are they making fun of me? What is that? That's, so strange. What's going on? And they're just like asking you. And it doesn't mean that they're saying it's bad or good or it's ugly. It's nothing like that. To them, it's not like that. It's that something changed that wasn't there before because they are always paying attention to you. That's all it is, right? They notice those types of things. And some of them actually appreciate that you are, human and that you fall on your knees, you cut yourself by accident. Like, they appreciate those details, particularly avoidant men. They like just the uniqueness of you, right? They appreciate that. So that's the second one. The third one is, this is going to be more particular if you guys maybe have the same friend group or they talk to your family. But in general, if you don't like somebody or somebody hurt your feelings, they notice it. And sometimes they don't say it, but a lot of times they do. But the reason why I brought this up in I think this is important is because actually, avoidants don't like when their partner's in a situation that makes them uncomfortable. Like, let's say you have a friend and she's not that good of an influence. Let's say your avoidant boyfriend, he is gonna let you know that he doesn't like that friend, and he'll have a hard time approving of that relationship because maybe she's jealous of you or she makes fun of you or puts you down, and he's like, that's not a real friend. You shouldn't let friends do this. And so Sometimes it's not that you don't like them, it's also that someone is making you feel bad about yourself and hurts your feelings. And sometimes they won't tell you, but eventually they probably will because it bothers them a lot. And interesting enough, this is a topic that shows up in couples sessions, probably more than you guys would guess, where they're saying, I don't like this friend. It makes me feel like this person is jealous or mean, and it makes me feel bad that my girlfriend thinks she's unattractive or that she has to dye her hair or she has to change her eyebrows, whatever it is, and I think she's perfect. Right? Because they're like, why are you getting so worried about this? This person is clearly making fun of you. You're great the way you are. They don't say it such an eloquent, direct, like clear way, but that is exactly where it's coming from. And so if somebody is doing this, it's not because they're controlling and they're trying to like ruin your life. They're not going to do this with every single person. That would be a different issue. But if it's a particular person, you don't like them, or they make you feel bad, or they're hurting your feelings, and your partner is saying, hey, I'm not a fan of this person, maybe hear them out. There might be some reality to what they're saying, okay? The next one is if you're more quiet than usual. I think you guys know this, right? If you're quiet, if you're to yourself, they might think you're mad. They might ask you if there's something wrong, something you want to talk about, or they might try and fill the space by trying to make you laugh, or talking more, or trying to reach out more, because they're trying to figure out what's going on. Are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Is there something I can do to make you feel better? What's the reason you're quiet? Did somebody else hurt you? Do we need to talk about that? Like, do you want to vent? What is it, right? They're trying to figure out. So they notice this immediately, even if they might not act like it. Now, there is some avoidants that do this, especially if they don't have a lot of rapport with you just yet. They might notice it, but they might pretend to ignore it because they're afraid that you're mad at them, and they're afraid you're going to crash out and say something that they're not ready for. And so you guys might not know that this is happening because they don't let you know about it. But obviously in couples therapy, I know about it, or individual therapy because they tell me, but you might not know about it. So I still put it in there in case that maybe it happens to you at one point and then it can click. It might not happen right away though. The next one is that if you're getting in your head about an interaction, they can tell. So let's say they said something and they said it a little harsh. They didn't mean to, but it was harsh. From your perspective, it truly was harsh, and you're getting in your head about it. You're quiet, but you're anxious about it. It's bothering you. It's worrying you, and they can see that. And they might actually intervene and say, hey, I didn't mean it like that. Or I probably should have said it a little bit nicer. Or you know what? I laid it on a little bit thick. I didn't mean it like that. What I actually meant was X, Y, and Z. And so they try and figure out or fix what's ever bothering you because they see that it's occupying space in your mind. And the last one is that when you're mad at them, they know. I mean, most avoidants really know this one, and whether they communicate it or not is very dependent on that person. But yes, they know when you're mad, and they know because they care about you. And somewhere inside, they're afraid that if you're mad, you're going to leave them. And so these are some of the 6 ways that avoidants behave when they really like you. Let's summarize it, and then we'll wrap it up. The first one is when you don't like your food. They notice it. The next one is any cuts or scars or like discoloration marks on your body. Not in a bad way. They just notice it, okay? Or even on your face, whatever, right? The next one is when you don't like someone or someone's hurt your feelings. They know about it, and often they want action on this one because they don't like seeing you hurt on repeat. The next one is that when you're more quiet than usual, they just want to know what's up. The 5th one is when you're getting in your head about an interaction, they notice that. They might even call you out on it or try and correct it. And the last one is when you're mad at them. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.